already. All right, name the quadrant. So they're going to give you two situations, and you have to name the quadrant where both of these things occur. So to start with, if you will, just sketch a quick little circle. Remember that the quadrants go quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. First quadrant, everything's positive. Second quadrant, negative, positive. Third quadrant, negative, negative. Fourth quadrant, positive, negative. All right. So it says, where is tangent of theta greater than 0? Tangent, remember, is y over x. So it's going to be it's going to be positive where the signs are the same. It'll be positive where the signs are the same, which happens in the first quadrant and in the third quadrant, because positive divided by positive is positive and negative divided by negative is positive. Then it says, where is sine of theta less than 0? Well, sine is y, and y is negative in the bottom hemisphere, the lower hemisphere, which would be quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. This is supposed to look like quadrant 3 there. All right, so quadrant 3 and 4. So then you look and say, what's the overlap? This was 1 and 3, this is 3 and 4. So the overlap is 3, so our answer is quadrant 3. All right, next question. Once again, you have your circle. It says, which quadrant is cosine of theta greater than 0? Cosine is x. X's are positive in the right hemisphere, so that would be quadrants 1 and 4. And then it says cosecant of theta less than 0. Remember, cosecant is r over y, so it's going to be positive, or so, excuse me, it's going to be negative, less than 0 everywhere y is negative. So that would be in the lower hemisphere of the circle, which would be quadrants 3 and 4, because those are the quadrants where the y value is negative. It doesn't really matter if it's r over y or y over r, the sign part stays the same. So then you look to see, we have quadrant 1 and 4, quadrant 3 and 4, so the overlap is quadrant 4, so that would be our answer. All right, next I have, which quadrant does it happen that cotangent is greater than 0 and cosine of theta is less than 0? So remember that cotangent is x over y, so it's going to be positive everywhere the signs are the same, which would be quadrants 1 and 3. Cosine of theta less than 0, remember cosine is x, so it's going to be negative, less than 0, in the left hemisphere, which would be quadrants 2 and 3. And then the place that they overlap would be quadrant 3, so that would be true of both of them. All right, and lastly, we have sine of theta greater than 0. Sine is y. Y is positive in the upper hemisphere, so quadrants 1 and 2. And it says, where is cosine of theta less than 0? Cosine is negative in the left hemisphere, and that would be in quadrants 2 and 3. So the overlap would be quadrant 2. And there we are with name that quadrant.